In 1991, scientists discovered a sound loud enough to be heard across the entirety of the Pacific Ocean. But what exactly is this sound? This sound has been named the upsweep, as the sound sweeps upward from low frequencies to high frequencies. And while the researchers at NOAA have a rough estimate of where the source of the sound is located, we don't know what makes this noise. Researchers initially thought the sound was from fin whales. But this was just a thought, as it was argued that there wasn't enough variation in the tone for the upsweep to be anything biological. But the point still stands. 35 years since its discovery, the upsweep phenomenon remains unresolved. And despite this mystery being unsolved, why are people still talking about it? Why does this phenomenon linger in our head? Why can't we be content with the unresolved? The reason we can't be content with the unanswered starts with this. The Zeigarnik effect, our tendency to linger on unfinished tasks more than completed ones. Every day, we're constantly checking things off in our head. Wake up, make sure we're dressed, go to work, come home, and do whatever else around the house. After that's all done, you finally get that sense of relief. You can relax. Everything is completed off the list. But mysteries aren't completed. A missing piece of the puzzle doesn't fix itself by ignoring it. So, we come back to it. Now that we have an understanding of what this is and why it is, we can talk about how people use it to strengthen their media. Starting from the simplest form, creepypastas. We all know about creepypastas. They're a cornerstone of the internet, and one thing that creepypastas share is the unresolved endings. One of my favorite examples of this is The Rake. Looking back on The Rake, they intentionally left a lot more questions than answers. We never got a full picture. We only got fragments of it. We don't even get a proper name. Only the names the community gave it, a victim's notes, and one terrifying image of the rake itself. This whole story was set up without answers to where it came from, what it is, and even why it exists. And if you think back during 2006, it was a lot harder to prove and disprove creepypastas like this. You don't have the years of archives we have today, and forging fake proof was a lot harder back then, making it more believable if you could pull off something reasonable. All you had was a plausible enough story, and the forum's word. The uncertainty surrounding whether the Rake's story was real became part of its appeal. A genuinely scary, unresolved mystery that had enough reason for people to pay attention. Another thing to pay attention to is lost media, such as a song that remained unidentifiable for almost 2 decades. The song is known as Like the Wind, or the most mysterious song on the internet. Nobody knew the artist, the origin, or even where the recording came from. We do know that in 2017, Dead Wax Records posted one of the earliest uploads of the song on the internet, where the post was named, "Help to identify this song. 80s, New Wave, Indie Pop, Cold Wave." Eventually in June 2019, it gained a good amount of traction, enough to have its own subreddit dedicated to solving the most mysterious song on the internet. And through the years, the community only grew and grew. They found many new leads, and new speculations took form, such as that the song may have been played on German radio, but they weren't 100% sure. But the fact that over many years, a whole community was built with the sole purpose of finding a song lost to time is always so crazy. The song itself sounds great, and it deserves its praise. But the uncertainty of this song and who made it, where it came from, is ultimately what kept the people curious. And while the case for the most mysterious song on the internet was not intentional, what if people intentionally created stories using uncertainty in that same way? ARGs are known for this, and while there are many that are great at using uncertainty, I want to mention this one. Cades, Latin for Murder, is a YouTube channel that has been posting Minecraft videos, and from the very first video, everything feels off. Things play out how they usually do, but then you realize, why is this specific Minecraft version blocked off? Why would you even need to hide that? Could it be a secret version unreleased to the public? Or even the fact that our cameraman was crafting and somehow moved. You can't move while crafting, so how could he have moved? only another entity could push someone. But since there seems to be nobody else in the game, what pushed him? These unfamiliar situations that would never happen in a regular Minecraft setting keeps you thinking why. And it only gets crazier. The sky switching abruptly from day to night. A screech filling your eardrums at the same time. What was that thing that was screeching? And why did it happen when the sky suddenly changed? Every little thing is like dominoes, connected to something larger, but you can never see far enough ahead. So when the video ends, you're still in your own head asking yourself questions, not realizing you already clicked on the next video. While the unresolved leaves a lot out, it gives the internet something it needs. A reason to come together and have a session of hear me outs, connecting us by trying to figure out the things we don't. The Backrooms fits this idea perfectly. What started as just a single image and a simple premise, expanded into endless levels of unique areas with unique entities. But what made the Backrooms a canvas for the internet? Because the Backrooms isn't the story, or what we saw in the photo. It's what we didn't see. The Backrooms was a perfect emptiness that compelled people to create something of their own, a comforting and familiar space, yet something so unknown. The Backrooms isn't the only case of this happening. If you leave a scrambled Rubik's Cube on an empty table, of course you're gonna try and solve it, even when you have no clue where to start. That's because it's in our nature to try and fix what isn't complete. One person can have an idea, but when a group of people comes together, one idea can turn into a story padded with their own thoughts. What starts as missing information turns into sessions of what-ifs, and what comes from those what-ifs become communities that get the vision, or tweak it into their own. Mysteries are not only entertaining, but they invite people together to try and solve them too. But one more question remains about the unresolved. The unresolved doesn't stay that way forever. Eventually the truth comes out. So, what happens when it does? I have something I need to admit. Ever since the start of the video, I haven't been completely honest. All of the things I mentioned that were unresolved actually had their answers revealed for quite some time. The upsweep is actually caused by some underwater volcanoes and seismic activity, meaning that ocean basins would shift, and it would activate the underwater volcanoes, causing that upsweep sound we all heard. And on November 2024, Reddit user Margin1412 got in contact with Michael Hadrich, who sent one song named Subways of Your Mind by FEX, and this song stood out. That was the song. The internet found the most mysterious song on the internet. Well, there we go. We uncovered the solution to many unresolved matters that we discussed. Now we can relax. Actually, now that we know the origins of these topics, how do you feel about them? Maybe you're satisfied. You finally know everything about these things that made you curious. But I have something to ask you. Do you still have that feeling of awe? That lingering connection attached to the topic at hand? Probably not. And while I may have lied about the upsweep, the volcanoes and seismic activity is just the leading theory. Nothing is confirmed, nobody knows. Sorry about that. It isn't resolved. But the point still stands. When the solution is known, the thing that kept you interested in it fades away. Because the thing that kept you interested wasn't the answer. It was the fact that there wasn't one. Now this doesn't mean that when there's an unresolved matter, you shouldn't solve it. It just means that the uncertainty is often what creates that lingering obsession. And that's something that I hope sticks with you. Because what sticks to us isn't the answer, but the questions that we never stopped asking.